As starlight filters through the quiet room, we'll begin our gentle journey into the nature of time. Imagine time not as a rushing river, but a deep, still pool, waiting for us to dip our toes into its shimmering depths. Tonight, we discover the universe's most wondrous secret, how time itself can bend. Asterisk, close your eyes now and feel the stillness around you. The day's hurried moments are gently fading, like ripples on a calm lake. Here, in this quiet space, we can begin to explore something truly remarkable, the very essence of time. For so long, we've thought of time as a constant, unyielding river, always flowing forward, always at the same speed, carrying everything along with it. But tonight, we'll discover that time is far more wondrous, more pliable, and more personal than you might ever have imagined. Asterisk, imagine, if you will, that you are standing on the edge of a vast, tranquil ocean. This isn't an ocean of water, but an ocean of moments. Each tiny drop in this ocean is a second, a breath, a fleeting thought. We usually perceive these drops as falling at an unchangeable rate, one after another, in an endless, predictable rhythm. But what if I told you that the ocean itself can ripple and swell, that its flow can quicken or slow, depending on where you are within its vast expanse? This is the beautiful, profound truth of time dilation. Asterisk, the concept of time bending might seem like something from a dream or far-off tale whispered by the stars. Yet, it is a cornerstone of our scientific understanding of the universe, a discovery that reshaped how we see reality. It began with the quiet, thoughtful mind of Albert Einstein, who, through elegant equations and profound insights, revealed that time is not a separate entity, but intimately woven into the very fabric of 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗲 𝗕𝗵𝗆. Think of space-time as a vast, invisible tapestry that holds everything in the universe together. It's like a soft, flexible sheet stretched taut, and on the sheet, all of creation planets, stars, you, me rests. When something heavy, like a star or a planet, sits on the sheet, it creates a dip, a gentle curve. And just as a marble rolling across a curved sheet will follow that curve, so too do things, even light itself, follow the curves in space-time created by massive objects. But here's the most wondrous part. This curving of space-time doesn't just affect where things go, it affects when things go. It affects the very flow of time. Asterisk, to truly understand this, let's consider a simple, soothing image. Imagine two friends, each with a perfectly accurate clock. One friend stays here on Earth, nestled comfortably in their familiar routine. The other friend embarks on an extraordinary journey. Perhaps they journey into space aboard a very fast spacecraft, or perhaps they venture near something incredibly massive, like a colossal star. When these two friends eventually reunite, their clocks, which were once synchronized down to the smallest fraction of a second, will no longer agree. The clock that journeyed will have ticked slightly slower. The friend who traveled will, in a subtle yet undeniable way, be a tiny bit younger than if they had stayed behind. This isn't a trick of the mind or a faulty clock. It is the gentle, verifiable truth of time dilation. Asterisk, this profound idea began, not with rockets and distant stars, but with a simple thought experiment involving light. Imagine a pulse of light bouncing between two mirrors. If you're watching this from outside and the mirrors are moving very, very fast, that light pulse has to travel a slightly longer diagonal path to hit the mirrors. And since the speed of light is a constant, an unchanging speed limit for asterisk everything in the universe, the only way for the light to cover that longer distance in the same perceived speed is for time itself to stretch. It's as if the universe subtly adjusts the rhythm of time to keep its fundamental rules in perfect harmony. Asterisk, this stretching or squeezing of time isn't a theoretical curiosity. It's a measurable, verifiable phenomenon. The very satellites that guide your car with GPS, orbiting high above the Earth, experience time dilation because they are moving incredibly fast and are slightly further from Earth's gravitational pull. Their clocks tick at a slightly different rate than clocks on the ground. Without accounting for these tiny, precise differences, your GPS would be inaccurate by many miles each day. So even as you navigate your daily life, you are subtly interacting with the profound reality that time is not absolute. Asterisk as you lie. Here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your own breath, consider this. Your personal experience of time, the moments that make up your life, are intimately connected to your journey through the universe. Every movement you make, however slight, every gravitational field you are near, however weak, subtly influences the flow of your own unique timeline. It's not something you feel in a dramatic rush, but a quiet, constant truth woven into the fabric of your existence. Asterisk this evening, we have only just begun to dip our toes into this wondrous ocean of time. We felt its gentle currents and glimpsed how it can stretch and sway. But what happens when we journey faster or linger longer in the embrace of a stronger cosmic pull? What happens when we really listen to the whispers of the universe's clocks? As you drift deeper into this tranquil space, asterisk picture the ticking of 1,000 clocks, each in its own cosmic rhythm. Asterisk, we'll explore how these invisible gears of time shift and sway. Asterisk, not just with distance, but with the very fabric of space. Asterisk, listen closely, and you might hear the universe whispering its ancient song of relativity, a lullaby of how motion changes everything. Last, we began to feel the subtle truth that time is not a fixed, unyielding river, but a pliable, responsive essence. Now, let's expand that feeling, allowing ourselves to truly listen to the universe's cosmic clocks, each ticking to its own unique yet harmonized beat. Imagine every star, every planet, every distant galaxy, and even every tiny particle carrying its own precise timekeeping device. These aren't mechanical clocks with gears and springs, but the inherent rhythm of their existence, the rate at which their moments unfold. Asterisk, the core of this cosmic dance lies in two remarkable principles, two gentle whispers from the universe itself. The first, which we touched upon, is about speed. Picture yourself aboard a vast, silent spacecraft, accelerating to incredible velocities. As your speed increases, approaching the unreachable speed of light, the ultimate speed limit of the universe, something profound happens to your internal clock, to the very rhythm of your personal time. It begins to slow down ever so subtly relative to someone who remains still. Asterisk, think of it like this. Imagine a projector shining a light onto a screen. If the projector is moving very fast, the light still travels at the same speed, but the path it takes to reach the screen appears longer to an outside observer. To keep the speed of light constant for everyone, everywhere, the universe performs a graceful adjustment. It stretches out the time for the moving projector. It's a fundamental ballet, a cosmic choreography where speed and time are intricately linked, performing a perpetual dance. The faster you move, the more time stretches for you. It's not that your watch is broken or that you feel slower. Rather, the very seconds themselves that you experience are simply longer, more drawn out, compared to someone at rest. Asterisk now, let's consider the second great influence on these cosmic clocks, gravity. Remember our image of space-time as a vast, flexible sheet. We saw how massive objects like planets and stars create dips or curves in the sheet. Well, these gravitational wells don't just guide the paths of planets. They also affect the flow of time. Imagine a deep, comforting hollow in that fabric of space-time. The deeper the hollow, the stronger the gravity. And where gravity is stronger, time slows down. Asterisk. It's as if time struggles to climb out of these gravitational wells, becoming heavier, more deliberate. So, a clock on the surface of a massive star would tick noticeably slower than a clock floating freely in the emptiness of space, far from any gravitational pull. Even here on Earth, though imperceptibly to our daily lives, gravity plays its part. A clock on a mountaintop, being slightly further from Earth's gravitational center, ticks a tiny fraction faster than a clock at sea level. The differences are minute, but they're there. A constant reminder that time is not uniform, but responsive to its environment. Asterisk, these two effects, speed and gravity, are the primary conductors of the universe's temporal symphony. Every celestial body, every particle of dust, every human being is participating in this vast, intricate dance of clocks. We are all moving, and we are all within gravitational fields, meaning that each of us experiences time in our own unique, infinitesimally different way. Your moments are stretching and compressing, even now, in response to your journey through space and the subtle gravitational embrace of our planet. Asterisk, this understanding of time, where it's not absolute but relative, allows us to grasp the true complexity and beauty of the universe. It means that there is no single universal clock ticking for everyone. Instead, there is a harmonious yet diverse collection of personal clocks, each attuned to its unique journey and gravitational environment. It's a profound thought. Your life's timeline is not just a straight line, but a path woven through the very curves and movements of the cosmos. Asterisk, as we gently transition to the next part of our journey, let's allow this idea to settle in your mind, that your own personal clock, the rhythm of your moments, is always subtly influenced by the speed at which you move and the gravity that surrounds you. Now, let's imagine ourselves embarking on an extreme version of this cosmic dance, journeying at the edge of the universe's ultimate speed limit. What truly happens when we try to catch the whisper of light itself? Imagine a swift, silent journey, a voyage at the very edge of speed. Asterisk, as you approach the uncatchable light, feel time begin to stretch around you. A soft, elastic embrace. Here, we'll see how even the fastest traveler finds their moments expanding. Asterisk A. Profound calm in the heart of motion. Asterisk last, we felt the gentle interplay of speed and gravity on the universe's many clocks. Now, let's focus on the astonishing effect of speed itself on the flow of your personal moments. Imagine in your mind's eye that you are aboard a magnificent, silent vessel. This isn't just any ship. It's designed to approach speeds that seem almost impossible, speeds that whisper at the very edge of the universe's ultimate limit. Asterisk, this limit, this speed that nothing with mass can ever truly reach, is the speed of light. It's the fastest thing there is, a constant against which all other movements are measured. Light, whether it's from a distant star or a tiny candle flame, always travels at precisely the same astonishing speed in a vacuum, no matter who is observing it or how fast they're moving. This fundamental truth is the key to understanding how time stretches and bends with motion. Asterisk, picture your vessel accelerating, gently at first, then more swiftly. As you glide faster and faster through the deep, cosmic quiet, you wouldn't feel time slowing down within your own experience. Your heart would beat at its regular rhythm, your thoughts would flow at their normal pace, and a clock on your wrist would continue to tick precisely as it always has. This is because time dilates for everything moving with you. Your entire frame of reference, your personal bubble of reality, is experiencing the same stretched moments. Asterisk, but now, imagine someone watching you from a serene, still vantage point. Back on Earth, for them, observing your incredible journey, something truly remarkable is happening to your time. As your spacecraft's speed approaches that incredible cosmic limit, they would observe your clock ticking slower. They would see your movements, if they could somehow observe you, unfold in a kind of slow-motion ballet. To them, your journey of mere hours might appear to take days or even weeks. It's as if the universe is generously adding more seconds into each of your moving minutes, extending your precious moments. Asterisk. This stretching of time due to speed is known as special relativistic time dilation. It's a direct consequence of the universe's unwavering commitment to the speed of light. Because light must travel at the same speed for everyone, regardless of their own motion, time itself has to be flexible. It yields, it expands, it contracts, ensuring that this fundamental cosmic rule is always upheld. It's a beautiful cosmic compromise, a silent agreement woven into the fabric of existence. Asterisk, think of it like this. Imagine a race where all participants must cross the finish line at the exact same instant, but some runners have to take a longer winding path. The only way for them to meet the rule is if their stride itself changes, if their individual experience of the race stretches to accommodate the longer route. In the universe, the stride is time, and the longer path is the increased distance. Light must effectively cover when observed from a different moving perspective. Asterisk, this isn't a mere abstract concept. We see its effects in the universe around us, in the fleeting lives of tiny particles. Consider muons, for instance. These are subatomic particles created high in Earth's atmosphere when cosmic rays collide with air molecules. Muons are incredibly short-lived. In their own rest frame, they decay in a tiny fraction of a second. They shouldn't have enough time to reach the Earth's surface before vanishing. Asterisk, yet they do. Many of them arrive at ground level, detected by our instruments. Why? Because these muons are traveling at speeds incredibly close to the speed of light. From our perspective on Earth, their internal clocks, their very lifespans, are dilated. Their few microseconds are stretched into many more, allowing them enough borrowed time to complete their journey down to us. It's a real measurable testament to time's incredible elasticity at extreme speeds. Asterisk. So, as you rest now, let this profound truth settle within you. The speed at which anything moves through the cosmos directly influences the pace of its internal clock. Every journey, every motion, however small, carries with it a subtle personal adjustment to the flow of time. It is a quiet, elegant dance between movement and duration. Asterisk, but speed is only one dancer in this cosmic ballet. There's another powerful force, an invisible embrace that also shapes the rhythm of time, pulling and holding moments close. It's a force we feel every day, keeping us grounded, and it too has its own unique way of altering time's gentle flow. Asterisk. Now, picture a heavy, comforting blanket, pulling gently on the universe's fabric. Asterisk, this is gravity, and it too reshapes the flow of moments. Close your eyes and feel how deep wells of gravitykin subtly slow the ceaseless march of seconds. Asterisk, a soft pause in the cosmic ballet. Asterisk gloss. We journey to the edge of light's whisper, feeling how immense speed stretches time. Now, let's settle into a different kind of influence, a quieter yet equally profound force, gravity. Imagine, as you lie here, a vast invisible blanket spread out beneath you. This isn't a blanket of wool or cotton, but the very fabric of space-time itself, the four-dimensional canvas upon which all of reality is painted. Asterisk, when we spoke of space-time before, we imagined it as a taut, flat sheet, but that's only part of its story. The sheet isn't always flat. Wherever there is mass, whether it's a tiny pebble, a majestic planet like Earth, or a colossal star, that mass creates a dent or a curve in this fabric. The more massive an object, the deeper the dent it creates. This curving of space-time is what we experience as gravity. It's not a pulling force in the traditional sense, but a bending of the path that everything, including light and time, must follow. Asterisk, think of it like this. If you roll a marble across a flat, stretched sheet, it will roll in a straight line. But if you place a heavy bowling ball in the center of that sheet, it creates a dip. Now, if you roll the marble near the bowling ball, its path will curve inward, as if it's being pulled towards the heavier object. This is how gravity works. It's the curvature of space-time guiding the movement of everything within it, asterisk. But here's where it becomes truly wondrous for our understanding of time. This gravitational dent doesn't just affect spatial paths. It also affects the flow of time itself. Where the gravitational field is stronger, where the curve in space-time is deeper, time slows down. It's as if time struggles to climb out of that deep well, becoming more deliberate, more reluctant to tick forward. Asterisk, imagine two identical, perfectly accurate clocks. One clock is placed at the very top of a towering mountain, high above the earth. The other clock rests at the bottom of a deep valley, closer to Earth's massive core. Because the clock in the valley is experiencing a slightly stronger gravitational pull, it's deeper in Earth's gravitational well, it will tick infinitesimally slower than the clock on the mountaintop. The difference is incredibly tiny, measured in nanoseconds, but it is real and has been precisely measured. Asterisk, this effect, known as gravitational time dilation, is another beautiful piece of Einstein's theory of relativity. It tells us that time is not just affected by how fast you're moving, but also by how strong the gravitational field is around you. The closer you are to a massive object, the slower your moments will unfold relative to someone further away. Asterisk, consider a satellite orbiting our Earth, providing us with vital services like GPS. These satellites are subject to two opposing time dilation effects. Because they are moving very fast, their clocks tend to run slower, special relativistic time dilation. However, because they are further away from Earth's strong gravitational field, their clocks tend to run faster, gravitational time dilation. The net effect is that their clocks run slightly faster than clocks on Earth's surface, and engineers must account for these precise differences for GPS to function accurately. Without these adjustments, your navigation system would send you miles off course every single day. Asterisk, so as you rest, feel the comforting, yet powerful embrace of Earth's gravity. It holds you gently, keeping you connected to our planet, and it is subtly influencing the rhythm of your moments. You are always within a gravitational field, and that field is always in its own quiet way, shaping the flow of your personal time. Asterisk, this means that every breath you take, every quiet moment you spend is happening within a context where time is not a rigid, unbending ruler. It's a soft, flexible measure, responsive to the cosmic forces around us. We've seen how incredible speeds stretch time. Now we understand how gravity acts like a gentle, invisible hand, slowing time down. This understanding brings us closer to home, showing us that these profound cosmic truths are not just out in the distant reaches of space, but are present right here in the subtle differences that occur on our very own planet. Asterisk. Even here on our familiar Earth, time tells a nuanced story. Asterisk up high, where mountains touch the sky, moments pass a fraction swifter. Asterisk, while deep in valleys, time holds you a little tighter. Asterisk, we'll discover how our very planet hums with tiny time. Differences, a quiet symphony beneath our feet. We've journeyed through the cosmic expanse, feeling how incredible speeds stretch time and how the universe's powerful gravity wells can slow it. Now, let's bring our focus back to our own home, Earth, and discover that even here, beneath our feet and above our heads, time isn't perfectly uniform. Our very planet hums with its own tiny, persistent time differences, a gentle, ongoing symphony that you never notice in your daily life, yet is always present. Asterisk, imagine standing at the very top of a towering mountain where the air is thin and the stars seem closer. Now, picture yourself deep in a sun-dappled valley, perhaps by a quiet stream, nestled close to the Earth's core. While you wouldn't feel any difference in the passing of moments, a perfectly accurate, sensitive clock would tell a subtle story. The clock on the mountaintop, being further away from the Earth's most concentrated mass, experiences a slightly weaker gravitational pull. And because gravity gently slows time, the clock on the mountain will tick infinitesimally faster than the clock in the valley. Asterisk. This is the beauty of gravitational time. Dilation playing out on our own planet. It's a testament to the sheer precision of Einstein's theories. The difference is incredibly small, measured in tiny fractions of a second over an entire lifetime, so minuscule that our human senses can't perceive it. Yet, these tiny whispers of time are real and measurable. Scientists use incredibly precise atomic clocks, so accurate they would lose less than a second over millions of years to detect these differences. They've carried these clocks up mountains, flown them in airplanes, and observed them ticking at slightly different rates, confirming what the equations predicted. Asterisk, consider another fascinating aspect, the Earth's rotation. Our planet is not static. It spins, carrying all of us along at impressive speeds. For someone standing at the equator, the speed of this rotation is much greater than for someone near the poles. And as we learned, speed influences time. So technically, because you are moving faster at the equator due to Earth's rotation, time would pass ever so slightly slower for you there compared to someone standing still at one of the poles. Again, these are incredibly minute differences, not something you would ever feel, but they are a constant, subtle reminder of the relativistic nature of time. Asterisk. These tiny shifts in time across our planet have practical implications, particularly for technologies we rely on every day. Think about your global positioning system, GPS, the invisible guide that helps you find your way. GPS satellites orbit Earth at high altitudes, far above the strongest gravitational pull, and they move at tremendous speeds. Asterisk, as I discussed earlier. 210 dilation effects are at play for these satellites. Speed. Due to their incredibly high speed, their clocks tend to tick slower than clocks on Earth. Gravity, because they are further away from Earth's strong gravitational field. Their clocks tend to tick faster than clocks on Earth. Asterisk, the second effect, gravity making them run faster, is actually stronger than the first effect, speed making them run slower. The net result is that the clocks on GPS satellites gain about 38 microseconds, that's 38 millionths of a second, per day compared to clocks on Earth. If GPS receivers didn't account for this daily gain, your navigation system would accumulate an error of about 10 kilometers, more than 6 miles, every single day. So every time your GPS guides you accurately to your destination, it's silently celebrating Einstein's theory of relativity and the subtle dance of time on our very own planet. Asterisk, as you rest, to gently breathe in the knowledge that even in the most familiar places, time is a dynamic, living thing. It's not a rigid, unyielding force, but a nuanced flow, constantly shaped by the gentle pull of gravity and the quiet hum of motion. Even here on Earth, our planet itself is a quiet conductor of a subtle symphony of time with every location, experiencing its own unique micro-rhythm. Asterisk. This understanding of time's flexibility right here at home prepares us for an even more profound thought experiment, one that truly highlights the personal impact of time's elasticity. Imagine now 2 lives, 2 journeys, starting at the same moment, but diverging in their paths through space-time. What might happen when these paths, after a great voyage, finally converge once more? Imagine 2 identical travelers, one venturing far, one staying nearer. Asterisk, when they reunite, the universe reveals a tender secret. The one who journeyed has aged ever so slightly less. This gentle paradox invites us to ponder the personal truth of Time, a soft echo of absence and return. Last, we felt the subtle nuances of time even here on Earth, whispering differences between mountaintops and valleys. Now, let's expand our imagination into a classic and perhaps the most poignant illustration of time dilation, the twin paradox. It's not a paradox in the sense of a contradiction, but rather a fascinating thought experiment that beautifully highlights the personal, subjective nature of time itself. Asterisk, imagine, if you will, two identical twins named simply Earth Twin and Space Twin. They are born at the same moment, share the same experiences in their early lives, and are inseparable. But then, a momentous decision is made. Space Twin embarks on an extraordinary journey. They board an incredibly fast spacecraft, designed to travel at speeds very, very close to the speed of light, perhaps to a distant star system and back again. Earth Twin, meanwhile, remains on our home planet, living a life of familiar routines and gentle moments. Asterisk, Space Twin's journey is long and arduous, spanning what feels like many years to them aboard their swift vessel. They experience the vast emptiness of space, the incredible acceleration, and the quiet hum of their ship. Earth Twin, grounded on our planet, continues their life, watching the seasons change, experiencing birthdays and anniversaries, and perhaps growing a little older each year. Asterisk, finally, after what seems like an eternity for both, Space Twin's vessel gently arcs back towards Earth, making a slow, graceful descent. The moment of reunion arrives. Earth Twin stands waiting, perhaps a little older, their face etched with the wisdom of passing years. Space Twin emerges from the spacecraft, and here is where the profound truth of time dilation reveals itself. Space Twin is younger than Earth Twin. Asterisk, this isn't a trick or an illusion. Space Twin has genuinely aged less. Their biological processes, their heartbeats, their thoughts, all happened at a slightly slower rate relative to Earth Twin. For Space Twin, fewer moments, fewer seconds have actually passed during their journey. Asterisk, how? Can this be? It returns to the principles we've gently explored. Space Twins spent most of their journey traveling at an incredibly high speed. As we learned, when you move very fast, time itself stretches for you relative to someone who is moving slower or is at rest. Earth Twin remained largely stationary relative to Space Twin's extreme speed, experiencing time at what we might call a normal pace. Asterisk, the paradox part often arises from the question, well, couldn't Earth Twin say they were the one moving relative to Space Twin, and therefore Earth Twin should be younger? This is where the crucial element of acceleration comes in. Space Twin had to accelerate away from Earth, turn around at the distant star, and then decelerate to return. These periods of acceleration are not symmetrical. Earth Twin remained in a relatively inertial or non-accelerating frame of reference for the entire duration. Its Space Twin's active, high-speed journey and the forces of acceleration and deceleration involved that create the asymmetry, causing their clock to tick slower overall. Asterisk, imagine two runners on a circular track. One runs very fast around the track, while the other stays in the center. Even though from the fast runner's perspective, the person in the center is also moving relative to them, only the runner on the track experiences the forces of continuous acceleration and deceleration around the curve. This analogy, though imperfect, hints at the asymmetry. Asterisk, the twin paradox. Though a thought experiment, illustrates a fundamental, beautiful truth about time. It is not universal and absolute for all observers. Your experience of time is truly personal, shaped by your unique path through space-time. For Space Twin, time unfolded differently, encompassing fewer moments during their incredible voyage. For Earth Twin, more moments passed, weaving a longer tapestry of personal history. Asterisk, As you rest with this gentle paradox, consider the tender implications. If such voyages were possible, families could be separated not just by distance, but by years. A child could wave goodbye to a parent embarking on a distant voyage, and upon their return, that parent might be biologically younger than their own child. It's a poignant reminder that time can truly be a fluid, individual experience, creating soft echoes of absence and surprising reunions. Asterisk this profound truth, that your journey through the cosmos shapes your personal timeline, invites us to gaze even further into the most extreme reaches of this phenomenon. What happens to time when it encounters the universe's ultimate gravitational embrace, where the fabric of space-time is stretched to its absolute limit, almost to the point of breaking? As we drift toward the most profound depths of space, asterisk will approach the silent, invisible pull of a black hole. Asterisk here, time itself becomes a slow, liquid dream, almost standing still. It's a place where moments stretch into eternity, a serene, vast stillness at the universe's ultimate edge. Asterisk last, we pondered the tender paradox of the twins, seeing how personal journeys through speed can reshape individual timelines. Now let's venture to the most extreme reaches of space-time, to a place where the universe's fabric is stretched and warped beyond imagination, the silent, mysterious realm of black holes. These cosmic behemoths are not merely dark voids. They are profound laboratories of gravity and time. Asterisk imagine, if you will, approaching one of these enigmatic giants. From a distance, a black hole is invisible, detectable only by its powerful gravitational influence on nearby stars and gas. But as you draw closer, you begin to sense an immense, almost overwhelming presence. This is the region where gravity becomes so incredibly intense that nothing, not even light itself, can escape its pull. This boundary, this point of no return, is called the event horizon. Asterisk for our understanding of time. The event horizon is truly the universe's ultimate time dilator. Picture yourself hovering safely just outside this boundary, observing something, perhaps a brave or foolhardy explorer, venturing towards the event horizon. From your perspective, watching from a distance, something truly astonishing would begin to happen to the explorer's moments. Asterisk, as the explorer nears the event horizon, you would observe their movements becoming incredibly slow, their hand waving. Goodbye might stretch into an agonizingly long, drawn-out gesture. Their words, if you could hear them, would drop in pitch and become impossibly drawn out, eventually freezing to an eternal silence. You would see their clock, if you could perceive its ticking slow to an agonizing crawl, appearing to almost stop as they reach the very edge of the horizon. From your distant vantage point, it would seem as though they became frozen in time, forever suspended at the brink of the black hole. Asterisk, but here's the crucial, mind-bending part. For the explorer themselves, nothing unusual would be happening. As they cross the event horizon, their own clock would continue to tick normally. Their heart would beat at its regular pace. Their thoughts would flow at their usual speed. They wouldn't feel time stretching or slowing down around them. This is because, just like with the fast-moving twin, their entire frame of reference, their body, their clock, their consciousness is moving with them into this extreme gravitational field. Everything within their personal bubble continues to operate at its usual rhythm. Asterisk, this profound difference in perceived time is a direct consequence of the immense gravitational time dilation at play. Inside the black hole's event horizon, the curvature of space-time is so extreme that all paths, all directions lead inevitably inward towards the singularity at the center. Time itself becomes warped, bending so severely that it points only in one direction, deeper into the black hole. Asterisk, it's as if time, within the black hole, has become a dimension of space, a pathway that can only be traveled inward. For anyone outside looking in, time for the infalling object essentially stretches to infinity at the event horizon. It's a place where moments become almost eternal, where the very concept of now becomes profoundly relative. Asterisk, so a black hole is not just a cosmic vacuum cleaner. It's a profound cosmic clock, demonstrating the absolute extreme of how gravity can warp the flow of moments. It's a place where the serene, steady march of time we usually perceive is profoundly challenged, revealing its deep, elastic nature. Asterisk as you rest with this wondrous image of black holes, those ultimate time benders. Allow yourself to feel the vastness of this concept. It shows us that time is not a fixed background against which the universe plays out, but an active participant, shaped and sculpted by the very objects within it. This profound flexibility of time, experienced in such extreme ways in the cosmos, holds incredible implications for how we might one day imagine our own future journeys. If time can stretch and bend so dramatically, what might this mean for the possibilities of reaching distant stars, or even peering into tomorrow? What does this stretching and bending of time mean for tomorrow? Asterisk, it suggests that our future journeys, though distant, might unfold in ways we're only beginning to imagine. Time dilation whispers of cosmic voyages and distant stars. Asterisk, where every second truly counts and every journey is unique. Asterisk last, we dared to gaze into the heart of black holes, those ultimate shapers of space-time, where moments stretch into a serene, vast stillness. Now, let's bring these incredible insights about time's flexibility back to our own future, to the possibilities that glimmer on the horizon for humanity and our understanding of the universe. What does it truly mean for us, knowing that time can stretch and bend? Asterisk, this profound knowledge of time dilation is not just a scientific curiosity. It hints at extraordinary opportunities for our distant future. Imagine humanity's yearning to explore beyond our solar system, to reach the glittering tapestries of distant stars and alien worlds. The distances are immense, measured in light years, meaning that even light itself takes years to traverse. Then, at conventional speeds, such journeys would take hundreds, thousands, or even millions of years, far exceeding any human lifespan. Asterisk, but here is where the gentle whisper of time dilation becomes a beacon of possibility. If we could build spacecraft capable of reaching speeds very, very close to the speed of light, a monumental engineering challenge, to be sure then the long journeys to distant stars would feel much shorter for the travelers themselves. Asterisk, consider a voyage to a star system like Alpha Centauri, which is about 4.37 light years away. For an observer on Earth, such a round trip would take roughly 8.74 years at just under the speed of light. However, for the astronauts aboard a spacecraft traveling at, say, 99.99% of the speed of light, their clocks would slow down significantly. For them, the journey might feel like only a few weeks or even days, depending on how close to light speed they traveled. Asterisk. This means that a crew could undertake an interstellar mission that spans decades from Earth's perspective, but only a few years or even months of their own personal time. They could return to an Earth that has aged considerably more than they have, perhaps to find their great-grandchildren are now adults, while they themselves remain relatively young. This is the real-world implication of the twin paradox on a grand cosmic scale. It offers a glimpse into a future where interstellar travel, while still requiring vast amounts of energy and technological innovation, becomes conceivable within a human lifetime, or even within a comfortable portion of it. Asterisk, time dilation also reminds us of the preciousness of each moment. If time can stretch and yield, then every second truly holds its own unique value, its own unique unfolding. It highlights that the universe does not march to a single universal drumbeat, but orchestrates a magnificent personal symphony for every traveler, every particle, every star. Asterisk. This understanding allows us to dream of future missions where the crew is not just human, but perhaps artificial intelligence or even biological systems designed to experience time differently, optimizing for the menstruations of cosmic travel. It opens up new avenues for scientific inquiry, pushing the boundaries of what we consider possible. Asterisk, as you lie here, gently breathing, let the quiet potential of time dilation fill your mind. It's a silent promise woven into the very fabric of the cosmos that the future holds paths and possibilities beyond our current imagining. Our journeys, whether across the room or across the galaxy, are all, in their own subtle way, shaping our personal experience of time. The universe is waiting to be explored, and time itself is ready to bend to accommodate our adventurous spirits. Asterisk. But as we look forward to the future and its possibilities, it's also important to remember the profound connection between time and our own history. Every second lived, every experience is woven into a tapestry that constantly reshapes our present. What if, by understanding time's elasticity, we could also gain a deeper appreciation for the moments that have already passed and how they quietly echo into our now? Echoes of the past, whispers of the present. Asterisk. Reflect on how every moment you've lived, every gentle breath, is part of this incredible, elastic tapestry of time. The past isn't just gone. It's intricately woven into the very fabric. Asterisk, that shapes your present and softly guides your future. Asterisk. Time is not just the wine, but a vast, shimmering ocean. Asterisk. Glass. We allowed ourselves to dream of future journeys, guided by the possibilities of time dilation, imagining interstellar voyages where personal time stretches gracefully. Now, let's turn our attention inward and gently reflect on how this understanding of time's elasticity connects to our own personal histories, to the echoes of the past that subtly shape our whispers of the present. Asterisk. We often think of the past as something fixed, immutable, a series of events that have happened and are now simply gone. But with our newfound appreciation for time as a flexible, woven fabric, rather than a rigid line, we can perceive the past in a more profound, almost poetic way. Each moment you have lived, every experience, every gentle breath taken, is not merely lost to history. Instead, it's intricately woven into the vast, shimmering tapestry of space-time that makes up your existence. Asterisk. Imagine your life not as a straight, unchanging path, but as a rich, multi-layered drawing. Every choice you've made, every person you've met, every challenge you've overcome adds a new color or texture to this drawing. These past strokes are not erased. They remain, quietly influencing the lines and shades you add in the present moment. The way you perceive time now, the pace of your own personal clock, is a culmination of all these past influences, along with the immediate forces of motion and gravity acting upon you. Asterisk. Consider how a memory can suddenly feel so vivid, so immediate, as if you are almost reliving it. This isn't just a trick of the mind. It's a subtle reminder that the past isn't truly separate from the present. The information, the emotional resonance of those past moments remains encoded within the complex network of your brain, and perhaps in a deeper, more abstract sense, within the very fabric of the time you have traversed. Asterisk. Just as a distant star's light, which left its surface many years ago, is only reaching our eyes now, bringing its past into our present, so too do the events of your own life continue to resonate. The past influences your habits, your reactions, your understanding of the world, and even the subtle rhythm of your internal biological clock. You are, in every quiet moment, a living testament to all that has come before. Asterisk. This perspective can bring a profound sense of comfort. It means that precious moments, beloved faces, and cherished experiences are not simply lost to time's relentless march. Instead, they are integral parts of the ongoing narrative that defines you. They exist, in a sense, as part of the total accumulated experience that shapes your current reality. Asterisk, when we understand time as something that can stretch and bend, it changes our relationship with both memory and anticipation. The future is not just a distant point we are rushing towards. It is a landscape that can be subtly reshaped by our present choices, influenced by the echoes of our past. And our present, this very moment, is the vibrant intersection where all these threads converge. Asterisk, as you rest, let this idea settle gently, that time is far richer and more interconnected than a simple linear progression. It is a vast shimmering ocean, and every experience is a ripple that spreads outwards, touching other moments, quietly shaping the depths. You are an intricate part of this ocean, with your own unique currents and tides, your own history gently echoing into your ever-unfolding present. Asterisk, with this deeper appreciation for the rich tapestry of time, both past and present, we can now turn to the ultimate comfort and conclusion of our journey. How can we embrace this wondrous, flexible nature of time in our daily lives? And what enduring peace can it bring as we settle into the quiet of the night? 10. Embracing the moment, embracing time as our journey nears its gentle close. Asterisk, feel the comfort in knowing that time, though complex, is always with you. Asterisk, each tick, each moment is a unique gift, experienced through the incredible lens of your own existence. Rest now, cradled in the vast, beautiful, and ever-yielding flow of time. Asterisk, we have journeyed far tonight, from the cosmic dance of clocks to the profound stillness at a black hole's edge, and then back to the subtle whispers of time on our own earth, even reflecting on the echoes of our personal past. Now, as our exploration gently concludes, let us settle into the profound comfort and peace that comes from truly embracing the moment and understanding the beautiful, flexible nature of time itself. Asterisk, you see, the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has designed time not as a rigid master, but as a fluid, responsive companion. It bends to colossal speeds and bows to mighty gravity. It stretches for the distant traveler and quickens for the one on the mountaintop. This means that your own personal timeline, the flow of your life's moments, is uniquely yours, always. Adapting, always in harmony with your journey through 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗫. There is a deep serenity in this realization. It means you are not merely a passenger on a predetermined, unchangeable timeline. Instead, your existence is part of a dynamic, living tapestry where every second, every breath, every quiet thought holds a unique and precious quality. You are experiencing time through the incredible, singular lens of your own consciousness, a perspective unlike any other in the vast cosmos. Think of the stillness of this very moment, the gentle rise and fall of your breath, the quiet sounds around you, the comfort of your resting place. This now is the most potent point in your personal timeline. It is where the echoes of your past converge with the possibilities of your future, all shaped by the elastic nature of the present. There is no need to rush, no need to worry that moments are slipping away. Time, in its true essence, is always unfolding, always giving, always present in its own way. Asterisk, when you feel time racing by, perhaps during a busy day, remember the stretching effect of speed. And when you wish for moments to linger, perhaps during a cherished experience, remember the gentle, slowing embrace of gravity. These are not just scientific concepts. They are poetic metaphors for the fluidity of your own experience. They invite you to be present, to truly immerse yourself in each passing second, knowing that its duration is uniquely yours. Asterisk, this understanding of time, complex yet comforting, frees us from the illusion of a single, universal clock ticking relentlessly forward. Instead, it offers a picture of a universe vibrant with diverse rhythms, each unique to its own frame of reference. And you, in this very moment, are a part of that magnificent, harmonious diversity. Your clock is ticking, your moments are unfolding, in perfect sync with your unique path through the vast, quiet expanse of space-time. Asterisk, as you drift now, feel the comfort of this knowledge. The universe is a place of profound wonder, and time is one of its most beautiful secrets. You are cradled within its gentle flow, part of a cosmic dance that is both grand and intimately personal. Let any lingering thoughts of the day gently dissolve, like ripples on a calm pond. Allow your mind to settle into the peace of this realization that time, in its deepest truth, is a flexible friend, always with you, always adapting to your unique journey. Asterisk rests now, knowing that every moment is a gift and that you are perfectly held within the vast, beautiful, and ever-yielding flow of time. Sleep deeply, cradled by the universe's quiet wisdom, until the next gentle unfolding of moments.
𝗏